Hello, and welcome to Conculsion. We're good. For another awesome episode of Who's That Anime? This week
Indeed.
we're talking about ghost stories. Uh, Particularly the English stuff because apparently the Japanese stuff was pretty boring. And so
Well, I think what you mean to say is that the Japanese dub was serious.
it might have been serious. I don't know. The subtitles in
I don't.
Crunchyroll that I watched it on is obviously distinct from the English subtitles.
Well, to be fair, and I will say this in general, that is one of my biggest pet peeves about um, anime in general. Is I sometimes want to watch a dub because I'm wanting to lie down and watch it, and that means I don't read while I'm doing that, which is good. But then if I'm now sitting up, I probably want to continue watching it in the dub. But I like to put subtitles on just because I'm weird like that. Uh,
Yeah.
and the subtitles are often for the Japanese local translation rather than the dub.
Yeah.
So you're getting a better translation in the text, but it's different from what they're saying, which means your mind is completely split. And I have a small aneurysm every time that does that. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
It's sort of like I think uh, in Death Note, I'm pretty sure it does this where if you're watching it in the English, they talk about what are the death gods or whatever, I can't remember. But then in the Japanese subtitles, it's oh,
Shinigami.
Shinigami. Yeah. So yeah, it's very annoying because it just my mind doesn't work like that. I'm not I'm not built to be able to do translation in my head on the fly of stuff.
Oh,
So I would rather
all right.
have the really bad English subtitles for the really bad English dub at the same time.
I don't know. That's kind of like to know how bad the the Japanese side was because it did pretty poor in Japan, I believe.
I think you should have the choice. To be fair, I wouldn't mind having both. It's just I'd like to be able to choose when one shows and when one doesn't. It's
That's
like
fair enough.
I was watching a movie last night, and I was speaking with my wife while we were watching it, and we hadn't really realized that the first 10 minutes or so, no one had spoken really. It's been a lot of yelling and kind of gasping and shocked expression. And then it got to a point where they were talking, and we're like, they're speaking like, and it showed some subtitles in English. I was like, okay, they're speaking, but they're not speaking English. It's like that's okay. And then the conversation went on, and then the subtitles disappeared, but they still spoke the language that wasn't English. And I was like, this doesn't seem right. Something's gone wrong here. We'd apparently been watching the film in Russian for the first 15 minutes, and just hadn't really realized because no one talked, and then got really confused when there was an English subtitle shown, even though it was in Russian. It's all very confusing. Figured it out
Yes,
eventually, though.
that's good. That's good. What movie was it?
It was the first hour we were watching of the Snyder cut of Justice League.
I bet she improved it then.
I mean, it's 4 hours long.
Yes.
It's 4 hours long. I couldn't watch all of it.
You ever watched the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings?
No, I haven't watched Lord of the Rings since the cinema.
That's fair enough.
So, but not to say I probably wouldn't. I would actually probably watch those, but man, Maybe not the third one actually. The third one was long in the cinema, so I imagine the extended cut in in the home edit version is probably not that good either. Or well, not that it's not that good. It's very long. Although I didn't like the third Lord of the Rings, so that's fair.
Is that because Frodo stayed alive?
I don't know. I think the second one was better.
Oh yeah, it's like middle of the story then. First
It's
one was like setting it all up. Second one was like when
yeah.
all the shit was getting ready and about to happen, and the third one's basically like, shit's going to happen. We're doing this and throwing this ring in this pile of lava. Spoilers.
Even even in the cinema, yeah. Spoiler for a 20-year-old film. Even in the cinema edit, um, it's it's like throw the ring into the lava. It's over. It's finally over. Cue 40 more minutes of stuff for some reason.
Well, you got to make sure that everyone's okay and Frodo
They
recovers from
don't
his.
care. They threw the ring in.
I,
It's over. Get me out of there.
I don't ask me. I never read the books because I tried to read The
It's
Hobbit and I
what
got
isn't it one
two
book?
pages in.
I mean, it's
No,
one book,
it's
right?
3 books. They
Is
actually
it?
made
I
three
thought
three books of the Lord of the Rings, 1 book for The Hobbit, which everyone complained
one
about
book
because
for
they
The
made that.
Hobbit that was split into 3 movies
Yes,
for some reason.
because they did
I
it with
believe it
Lord of
was
the
to
Rings.
help. Yeah, it was to help build the east wing of Peter Jackson's Money House.
Oh, what type of money did you use to build it?
I mean, to be fair, if he'd start, it didn't matter what kind of film he was filming. If he'd just used Zimbabwean dollars, I believe they're like they're easy. You build a house out of them for cheaper than building a house.
Yeah, but I don't think they're potentially waterproof or something.
No, you're right. It would probably you'd need to buy like some significant amounts of sort of spray on water sealant and stuff that would probably end up costing a fortune.
Yeah,
Anyway, I digress. We've ended up talking about Lord of the Rings. We were trying to do this on Thursday and had some technical issues, and then we got things working. So we said, okay, we'll do this again on Saturday night, and we logged on and had the exact same technical issues again.
fun times.
It's been great, and so we have removed removed the weakest link from the chain, and now it seems to be working okay. So
Yeah.
I guess. So here we are. We're here, as Colin said, to talk about ghost stories. We've just finished up the incredible classic that is Golden Boy.
Life
Yes.
is a mystery.
Which is just these are I'm gonna retain my soundboard with audio from every one of these animes that we do because they're just perfect, perfect,
Mhm.
um,
Perfect.
perfect. Oh, we should get that. It'd be a good drop. Good drop. Um, so we did the 2 episodes per podcast or per live stream of Golden Boy, and we're gonna try and do 4 episodes of ghost stories per live stream slash podcast, so that we don't end up doing ghost stories for 10 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 21 episodes.
Yeah, and ultimately, I feel like despite there being some stuff to talk about, I feel like we might be able to condense what we're talking about because there's not as much plot in ghost stories. It's a simple plot.
Yeah.
Do you want to dive right in? We can dive right in.
Yeah. Well, let's
Do you want me to say the episode title?
yeah. What's the first episode title? Because I don't know.
First episode is Tonight the Spirits Will Be Resurrected, Amanajaku.
Huh. Why tonight?
Ominous.
Because the entire episode's during the day.
It is. It is during the day. It is. You're right. They've kind of failed at the time there, I think.
Yeah, they obviously were maybe thinking like on the other side of the planet. at the time.
Yeah,
As maybe that's what they're going with. It's like, oh, it's set in Japan. We're in America tonight.
yes, it's yeah, that comes up a few times. It's like, oh, it's like one of those Japanese things, and you're like, yeah, this is the most Japanese American place I've ever seen. So I don't think this is America. Not even close.
Yeah. So
Like not even close.
yeah. The anime involves what, five main characters.
Yes. Do you want to try and name them from memory?
Uh, Suzaki or Claire, I believe in the Spanish Latin version, is this person. Look, that's her there.
Yep.
It's on the screen.
Satsuki.
Satsuki. Yeah, that's her. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the next person is Ned.
Ned, and I believe Ned is Hajime,
Hajime. Yeah, that's right.
which is
And
a
then
pretty
you've
good
got
song called Hajime.
a song called Hajime.
Yeah, it's great. I'll send you it. I'll
God.
link it in the show notes when I post it.
God. If it's anything like the intro music for the anime, which was played earlier, and the official music video of that was pretty interesting.
Yes, it's very unique.
Yeah, it is. And then you got Leo. No, that's not Leo. That's who's she? She's a Christian girl.
That, which would you say her name was?
I said Leo because it's not Leo because Leo's the other dude.
Uh, I don't know. Her name is. Is it Momoko?
Oh,
I don't know. She's
maybe.
she's the religious girl. That's pretty much what I remember.
Have you accepted Jesus as your personal savior?
Very much. Good old dubbing of the show. Oh Jesus.
Yeah,
And then you got
Have you
Leo.
accepted Jesus as your personal savior?
Leo. Leo,
Where's
who's
Leo?
Jewish.
Apparently, yes,
That is his predominant character trait. Is he's
yes,
Jewish.
and has lips. Look at those lips.
He does. It is a little bit not good. I don't know. It didn't look
Sure.
right.
And then you got the kid, the baby
Ah,
brother of Claire. I'm going to call her
I
Claire.
really don't like that kid.
Why? Because it's very controversial. Controversial dubbing.
That and it's just crap. He's just a crap character.
Well, that's why they
Uh,
also didn't put any real lines to him.
yeah, Momoko is the religious one. Hajime is where's the English name? Does it give you the English names? No. That's annoying.
No,
Yeah, then
the
there's Leo or Rio.
Rio.
Kakinoko Rio.
Yeah,
And Keichihiro, which is the younger brother.
hero. All right, and then you got the cat. Who's
But let's not get into the cat just yet.
let's ignore the
You
cat.
don't want to give
but-
away any more than the title of the first episode already has by referencing a name.
Well, this is the cat that appeared suddenly when the mother died. But that might be spoilers
Yes.
for us. Anyway,
So they're moving, right? That's the whole premise is they've moved to a new town. The brother and the older sister and the dad.
yeah, they moved into her dead mother's parents' house
Yes.
for some reason.
Yes, I don't know. That
And-
seems pretty controversial as it is already
I think
as a decision.
yeah, and I think the father's dad is the person that you meet in the start of it at the door who says he's going to Vegas.
Yes. Forgot about him.
Yes. Anyway, let's get rid of this and go get into the episode 1. Something about spirits appearing at night during the
Oh.
day.
Yeah, it's the the episode title is, and I'll just say it one more time, just for the sake of everyone. Tonight, the spirits will be resurrected. Amanajaku.
Yes.
Sorry, Amanajaku! It's got an exclamation point. So,
Oh God. Right. So, start of the episode, you see them moving to the new house, as we just said.
yep.
Straight off at the bat, there's some questionable dialogue. When she goes, "Can I go upstairs? Oh, can this be our like games room?" And then she lies down with a skirt. She's wearing a skirt. You can see that down here, the bottom right hand corner. And kid across the road's peering out his window and goes, "Wow, white panties." Introduction, Hajime.
Yep. And of course, that's thematic throughout what I've seen so far of this, is that that's just kind of a thing he does.
Yeah, at least he says that at least twice in that episode, maybe. Maybe
Well,
more.
to be fair, and he says, she gets really mad, of course, when she realizes that she's being perved on, as you would do. But then he quite rightly, to a degree, points out, he says, "What, you flashed me?" I said, "Well, I guess yes, technically, but also, why are you staring into my house?"
Because their houses are quite close together and you can't see anything
That
apart.
that is true. So they are neighbors and now also frenemies.
Good old frenemies.
Yeah, classics.
Yep.
So, but they that kind of introduces Hajime as the character, and then we kind of do we shift into day one at school, or the walk to school?
Well, at that point, the dad comes in and goes, "Hey, can you help me set up the shrine for our dead mother?" And Hajime makes a comment, "Oh, her mother's dead."
He does.
Or she doesn't have a murder or something. It's like,
Oh,
okay,
she doesn't have a mother.
and then it cuts away, and it's like that was
Yeah.
the whole scene.
Let me take note of that. That's very important for me
Yeah,
as a total grosso. Maybe I can take advantage of that somehow. Noted.
it was slightly noted. Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, it progresses into the next day, and the father drops them off. And says, "You okay with this?" And they're like, "Yeah, no, it's fine. Head off to. Don't be late for your work," type thing.
Yep.
No idea exactly what that would have been in Japanese side of things. So it's like it wasn't obviously going to be that anyway. And then the little kid brother, who we not
Yep.
mentioned much.
Keichihiro.
Yep, has brought their pet cat with him.
In his bag, his luxuriously spaced out bag.
Yeah, he's got like enough room to carry a cat in without any issues.
You might say he had room enough to swing a cat, like quite literally.
Only in maybe strangling his bag with the cat in it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's how that works, right? But of course, she's not overly thrilled at the idea of the cat being brought to school.
Hmm. Yes.
And then as cats are prone to do, it gets kind of separate, just leaves.
It just runs away. It just jumps at the bag
Yep.
and runs away. It's like, oh shit, I've been in a bag all this time. I don't like that. I'm gone. Bye.
Fuck you, kid. I hate you.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then it sort of disappears into the abandoned school building
Yeah, the old school building.
that everyone still uses for everything, apparently, because they're never out of that bloody building so far.
It's made reference later while leaving the show. Um. So we did miss the point where the very start before the credits of it was some guy running around there and some ghost creeps around and scares him at the very start. But that's
Did that happen? I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it was just like a half a minute's segment of like, look, there's a show now on. Time to cut to the credits.
There's some ghosts and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that's just that weird cold open for no reason, basically.
Yeah. I don't know, it's this thing that seems to have gone on in the things of America. They like to do that and then shove an arbor in between that and the credits. And shove an arbor after the
Ugh.
credits.
I
Weird.
hate that.
Yeah.
Hate that. I used to watch a lot of wrestling back in the day, and when I watched it in the UK, I was like, shit, there's a lot of adverts in this. And then when I went to visit family in the US and watched it live there, it was like, there's no wrestling. It's just adverts. Like there's just adverts all the time.
There's an arbor after every match.
How
In
do
between
you
matches.
remember what's happening and what you're looking at? Like, God forbid it was a television show. It's like, and what happened? It's like, well, I think they went and bought like some Cheetos and maybe a new car. It's like, no, that was the adverts you just watched. What happened in the show you were watching? It's like, I don't remember. It's like, I don't know. It's something about a loan. No, it wasn't that either. I'm pretty sure that's not what happened. So did someone get shot? Now that sounds maybe more likely than an advert. Okay, maybe we're on the right track now.
No, that's an arbor about guns.
That could happen, I suppose.
I don't know. I don't think they advertise guns in America.
I don't know. Probably not. You're right. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so they enter the old abandoned schoolhouse.
Yep.
And then promptly get scared by Hajime and Leo, who's
Yep.
in the thingy class thing group. About ghosts.
He's the head of the psychical research group at the school.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yep.
I've lost track.
He knows about ghosts and shit. Sort of.
He claims to. He claims to.
Yeah, he's the head of something that he knows very little about. It would
Yes.
seem, considering the the persistence of hauntedness of this building that he has completely not noticed. I feel that maybe he's not that good at this.
No. Well, they kind of know about the hauntedness of the building. But at the same time, I think they come up with a statement and saying, "Hey, no trespassing." Didn't you read the sign? And then she comes like, "Well, you're inside too." And I think they were like
Lawyered.
potatoes. Yeah.
Lawyered.
Yeah.
You are also now trespassing.
Yes.
But
yeah.
and then I'm trying to remember how this goes. So I think what then happens is they're sort of like not really wanting to be there anymore, essentially. But of course, they want to get the cat back because, as you mentioned already, Colin, the cat is very important to them, as it turned up the day their mother died.
Yes. I believe this is the point where they mentioned that. Yes.
Yep, and then they just I go, I guess we'll just, I don't know, like try and find the cat, I suppose, in the haunted building.
No.
So then the ghost hunt begins. No,
not quite at that point. No. What essentially happens is Leo and Hajime say, "No, screw yous, we're not doing it." And then suddenly in comes Christian girl, who lost her
Oh, that's
hat.
right. That's right.
And then she goes, "Oh, my hat blew into the first floor window of the school. Can we go up and get it?" And they were like, yes, anything for you," type thing, and start
That's right.
firing on her.
Yes.
Horribly.
Have you accepted Jesus as your personal savior?
Yes.
We should probably mention, I suppose, for a great deal, is that the show Ghost Stories in Japan is a supernatural horror show.
Yeah,
the
Partly,
Ghost Stories show in America was a black comedy.
yes, you could call it a
So
black
the
comedy.
dub essentially changes the entire tone of the show.
Yeah, but I believe there was contractual agreement to it. Like, apparently, I think they dubbed it all once, as line by line, as it should be. But then this is going by Wikipedia, so who knows?
Okay, go on.
And then they went, "No, that's shit." And then wrote to the company and went, "Can we change things up? Like change this to another script?" And they were like, "Yeah, but you got to like keep the name of all the characters, um, keep the name of all the ghosts and how they defeat the ghosts, and also keep the underlying meaning of each episode." I believe was
Okay,
the things that they said, but like the rest of it, yeah, go mad type thing.
and they did.
And yes, they literally went insane. I
Yeah,
mean,
they let
we're
complete lunatics dub this entire thing.
yeah. So if you ever watch like the proper Japanese version of it, might find out that Christian girl isn't very Christian. The kid brother isn't special needed.
He isn't quite as sniveling.
No, he's probably quite just as bad. Probably, maybe who knows. And the heroic boy Hajime um might not be as perverted.
That's ironic.
I mean, that would be quite unlikely for most Japanese heroes.
Yes. I mean, let's look at it from our perspective and what we've come from. And Golden Boy has taught me that's kind of how that goes.
Gold, Golden Boy is a good level to judge all anime by.
It's a something. I don't know if I would append it with good, but okay.
It's a good rock,
So,
good steady level. Anyway, yeah. So then they go hunting for the hat,
yep,
which is on top of a statue, which was outside prior to them coming in, apparently.
that's right. Forgot about that. So now they've got that. And then do they hear the cat?
Uh, well, they get the hat and the statue comes alive and starts chasing them.
Yeah,
And then
that
some other
happens a
ghost,
lot.
yeah. And then some other ghost appears with a sickle flying above them.
Yes, that's
Leo,
right.
Leo makes a comment as they trip over something. Says, "Oh yes, I think this type of ghost, the way to escape it is to lie down on the ground." Much to the Hajime is like, "Yeah, now you're telling us." Comment.
Now that we've almost died, thank you
Yeah.
very much for letting us know.
Yes. That seems to be a running theme in that one. Then they go and find the cat who's getting attacked by a dog.
Yes, the
Who
deep,
then
the very angry dog.
who then turns around and says, "I know dog." He
Yep,
has a
that's the
human
ghost,
face.
the man faced. Yeah, that seems to be a thing in Japanese ghost lore, yokai and things like that. Because in Yokai Watch, there is a character called Mangy Mutt that is literally like a human faced dog yokai.
Yeah, One Punch
It's
Man's
it's
got a guy
it's
like that too.
really. I haven't watched a lot of One Punch Man.
It's like one of the S-class heroes in it, and he's just dressed up a dog, and he lies on a pillar in the middle of like the center, protecting it. I think he's called
Amazing,
Dogman too.
creative, very creative.
One Punch Man is quite creative. It just rips the shit out of all like hero tropes.
Oh, no doubt. I guess it's just their naming convention because then after I, kind of ribbed on the idea of Dogman being a character, I then remembered the name of the show is One Punch Man.
because he beats everyone with one punch. But
And he's bored.
yeah, I think he's more depressed / bored,
Yeah.
bored with life. The hero convention, I believe, end up calling him Bald Cape. It's his hero name.
Because he's what is he? Saitama? That's his name, right?
Yeah, Saitama. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's and he's bald and he wears a cape. Anyway,
Yep.
that's a different anime.
Might be a good one, so we probably won't talk about it.
I certainly enjoyed it. It's distracted me from watching these 4 episodes in time. uh, yeah, I watched like season 2 of it. Anyway, right. So they get that, do that. The cat runs away again.
Yep.
Then they get back to the door because they get chased by another ghost or something.
Yeah, and it sort of blocks the path, sort of thing.
No, we're missing the toilet scene.
Of course. What would an episode of anime be without being in a toilet for a good reason?
Well, it's at least score 2 Irish shows about toilets in this one. Yeah. So yeah, so they go to the toilet for some reason, and then some girl scares them in the toilet. And the guys are like, I ain't going in there, that's girls' toilet. And they're like, shut up, you're getting in here.
Yep. You're right. That is true. I guess I've just started to sort of expel all toilet segments from anime out of my mind for fear of what's about to happen. But then
Jesus,
again, I
man.
think episode 2 mainly revolves around toilets, so
It
there's
does.
that.
It does. We'll get into that later. So, we move on and then go to. So they run away scared from that ghost. Get back to the door, and then this wee troll ghost appears.
Yeah. He wants to be their friend. You should be my friend. It's better
Yeah.
to be my friend than my enemy.
Yeah, and she tells him to get lost. Don't want to be a friend.
Yeah.
And then
Might
he
have been a
gets.
mistake.
Yeah, that's a big sweet. And then he drops chandelier on him, and then it turns into a big, massive thing. It chases him through the school.
He keeps getting bigger and bigger from what I remember, and just like keeps smashing through doors and chasing them through towards the exit.
Yeah. Well, away from the exit.
Away from the exit, rather. Yeah.
Yeah, because it couldn't leave.
So,
The door was locked.
at which point, though? So this is the thing: is this where we missed the part about the book?
No, that's for the book.
Good.
Because at that point, kind of like they run away and find themselves in the principal's office, where she makes a where she makes a comment that's like, "Oh, she looks like a lesbian."
This is just the most awkward scene. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Where she's like, "Oh, it's like, yeah," it's like, "Oh, yes, she does look like a lesbian." It's like, whatever, just get on with the scene. Like, this is
Yeah.
weirdly inappropriate thing to say.
No, she further digresses and says, "Oh, all school presidents look like lesbians."
Yep.
Well, anyway, and then she goes, "Wait, that looks like mom. That can't be mom."
It's like, oh, and then I'm pretty sure the praise the Lord says something like, "Oh, was she a gay as well?" or something like that. There's like further digression to awful stereotypes in this all the time.
All the time. All the time, dude.
All the time.
No. So I think what happens is she goes, "Oh no, that was my grandma," because she was like the president of this school. And then what's the name? Christian girl comes in and goes, "Yeah, she looks like," and she says, "Don't say it." Stop.
Yeah.
She thought she was trying to say, no, she looks like that person that I met in this other random thing. It turns out to be her mother.
Yes.
Is it all the Christian event thing or something where she got converted?
Oh no, it's even worse. It is a deprogramming camp where they make sure you're no longer gay, which are very, very awful things.
Oh, oh man, I missed
Yeah,
that
that
part.
I forgot about that. That is a good point. She mentions about being at like a deprogramming camp for homosexuals.
Oh god.
That's yep. Those were things.
Yeah, and then they run away again because the ghost finds them again, and then the book falls out the back of the picture.
That's right, because it's not a picture. It's the book basically is in the frame,
Yeah. Okay.
and inside the book is sort of the instruction manual for ghosts.
Yep. Written by Thingy's mom.
Yep.
Uh,
So they then, if I remember correctly, begin the proceeds after finding what's his name, Omanjaku, in the book, and find a way to get him sort of trapped or dispelled somewhere. It's what? No, wait. Is it the tree on the mountain? I think he's supposed to go to.
yeah, he was meant to be captured into the tree in the mountain.
But then, so they sort of go through this whole process, and they have a really dumb chanty rhyme. They're all very dumb chanty rhymes.
It's a
Some
very
of them
dumb
more
dub
offensive
and
than others.
it's a very dumb dubbing of a show. It's meant to be serious.
You're correct.
Don't
And
forget
they are. Sorry.
the kid drew a pentagram on the floor. Leo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. She and of course, what's her name? The Christian lady does not like that very much. It's very satanic.
Yes.
But of course, it's necessary in order to capture the spirit. They go through with the incantation, I suppose, is what it is,
Yep.
and all of a sudden, Omanajaku's gone.
Yep. Disappears.
Sent back to what they think is the tree.
Well, sent back to yeah. Because they end up leaving the old school house and
Yep.
going, oh, he's up there in the tree now, type thing. And look up in the hill and go, that tree's been cut down. They're making condos.
Which means, where's he gone? But of course, also, they've been in there all day and missed an entire day of school
Our
in
first
the
day of
process.
school.
Yeah, their first day of school has been missed.
Yeah.
And then it is soon discovered that Omanajaku has now taken up residence inside their cat.
That's right. Yeah. In the cat.
There's also one of my favourite lines in it so far is the the teacher who sees them hanging about at school at the end of the day and just drops this.
Go home, you sillies.
Because school's over.
Yep.
Go home, you sillies.
This is a very problematic dubbing.
Oh, it's no problematic than 7 stars. 7 stars? All right.
You lost me on that one.
Who did the Dragon Ball Z Japan dubbing and the Final Fantasy 7 one?
Oh, yeah, okay. But that was a joke. this was an official thing. They were
What's the difference?
7-star were sent 7-star were sent several cease and desist letters to stop what they were doing by different animes, like Yu-Gi-Oh, and there was another one as well. I think Attack on Titan got cease and desisted as well.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z kind of kept going, but it was just a pain in the ass for them, apparently. So they stopped
Yeah.
that as well. But they finished their Final Fantasy 7 recap just in time for the remake coming out last year. Oh man.
Again though,
good.
unofficial.
I don't think that makes it any better. It's
No,
still out there.
It doesn't make it any. It doesn't make it any better. It just makes this worse because they were like, yeah, this is fine. Just go for it. We've officially sanctioned what you've done.
This was released back in the day when they did Harry Birdman and crap like that, man. And
Yeah.
that is a bit raw in some things. Not entirely terrible, but
Yeah. True. But that kind
Just-
of wraps us up towards the end. That's the end of the first episode, pretty much.
yeah. The cat vows to kill them all.
Of course, Ominajaku is really hates them after trapping them in the cat, and
Oh.
says, "Why don't you just like disembowel me, so I can be free of this?" He's like, "No, I don't think we'll do that."
Yeah, or
So yeah.
stupid cat.
Yeah. Okay. How do you rate this one then?
You know, I've watched it a few times. And it's the only thing it makes it interesting is the dubbing, but even in this episode the dubbing isn't that good. They haven't gotten to the full swing of how horrible they're going to be.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a meh. Not
Okay.
not terrible in the sense that it's like shockingly bad and should not really be watched. Like Golden Boy, some episodes of that.
Fair.
So I don't know. I rate Golden Boy in mid tier. I think we'd have to give it 4 or 5. In the
What are you
sense
gonna
that
go with?
it's watchable.
Uh-huh.
You can put it on the background. You won't be shocked by anything. You might get like have some weird looks to it with what comes out the mouth of the characters. God, I don't even know what age she might be.
No.
Elementary school, I believe they're in.
Ugh. It
Yes,
further adds to the problems.
that is the
So
problem.
you said a
with the whole thing.
4 or a 5?
I'm going with 4.
Okay.
It's a meh for me.
I am going to go with a 5. I think this
Okay.
is middle of the road.
It's very
Entertaining
middle of
enough, but not much more than that.
the road. Yeah.
Right. Episode 2,
Yes.
the
The crew.
incredibly titled. A hand reaches out of the toilet. Akagami Aogami.
Hand reaches out the toilet. Apigami, origami.
Aogami, yep. A hand,
Okay.
but you're missing the most important part. A hand reaches out the toilet.
They're not wrong. The hand does reach out the
No.
toilet in multiple scenes. So
I've removed a lot of this one from my memory.
because it's involving toilets.
It just is an immediate sort of concern for me that this is going to go down a bad path.
There's nothing untoward in any of this episode except from people getting dragged down toilets by a mystical hand.
Asking them if they want the red or the blue.
Oh yeah, that was it.
The Morpheus of toilets.
Yeah, and he goes green. That's spoiler for the end of the episode.
It's like, don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Foolish mortals, what you done? Oh yeah, the cat
So-
also believes says that he. What does the cat say? It's like you're the most ugliest children I've ever seen. I believe was the comment he made in the last episode.
Yeah, he doesn't like the kids.
No, he doesn't. And he
So-
takes a crazy U-turn towards the end of the series, I believe.
In this episode, the toilets in the school can't be used. So she's now going to her first day of school.
Yeah,
she's
there's
missed.
yeah
She's missed her first day.
first day, or maybe she just came back. Might be a couple of days later. But
Yeah.
you're missing the construction workers at the start.
Construction workers. What happens with them?
So basically, the boss, the foreman, goes, "Go and place those planks, plank worker, plank placer, or something like that." To the guy, it's like creative lines, and then he and they're like, "Oh, what about this well? I'll just
Oh
bulldoze it
yeah,
in."
I forgot about the well. You're right.
And I think that leads into the reason for the whole ghost shenanigans, kind of boarding up the well or something.
Yeah, or pour concrete down it, or whatever the hell it is they do.
Aye, they kind of cut away at that point because the foreman goes, "I shouldn't have eaten that Mexican food," and runs to the toilet, and then
Yeah.
promptly gets sprung by a big giant hand coming out the toilet.
Yep. By a demon that is probably covered in shit at this point.
Yes, probably. We know you got it. Anyway, so
So yeah, you're right. That's why the toilets weren't working.
well, almost. 'Cause, I don't know, sometime in can't remember exactly what happens, and well, to a point, there's like in the episode they go, Hajime and Leo go to the toilet, and Hajime gets some form of stomach cramps because he was allergic to yogurt. Oh yeah, he's lactose intolerant apparently,
He's lactose intolerant. Yep,
and
that's right.
and he just can't keep away from that yogurt.
Yes, that's true.
So he goes and tries to poop, and then suddenly the whole water facility in the school explodes everywhere.
Yep, they just overflow everywhere.
Overflow. That's an understatement. It was like
It is, yeah.
it was
It's
like
catastrophic toilet failure. It's just water jetting up from the pipes, basically.
everywhere, yeah. And yeah, it's like you drop a cherry bomb in the toilet, I think.
Yeah, I guess it is a little bit like that.
I believe. Never done it myself. Never done it myself.
No, neither have I.
No. And then therefore the school goes, the plumbing's out of the school's there's an issue with the plumbing in the school. None of the toilets work, so you'll need to go and poop in the old schoolhouse.
And here we are again. It's like, yeah, this old abandoned thing that we have that's haunted to fuck. Just, use the facilities there.
Yeah.
Why?
Because and multiple comments in it is along the lines of I should have just was it the teacher had to go to the toilet and he doesn't come back, but on the way he's
He,
like I should have went and urinated in the coffee machine, know the difference and stuff like that, or
he
some
did say
person's
that, yeah.
locker or something like that.
Some fairly horrific comment.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah. And then so he goes to the toilet and then he gets grabbed by the ghost.
Yep, and he goes
itself.
down the toilet.
Yes, he gets sucked down the toilet. I would like to point out that the foreman was caught in a porta cabin,
He was, yeah. Which is
which
not hooked up to the mains.
is not hooked up to the mains. Yeah, it goes to the septic tank.
Because that would be a bit odd now, wouldn't it?
Yep, yep. And then I don't know. What's her name was saying? Oh yeah, I'll just hold it in for the rest of the day. And then her kid brother comes along and goes, "Well, I need to go."
Yep.
Oh no,
And off the journey starts.
he's already gone. He wet his pants.
You're right. There's a bit of a Ralph Wiggum level of please hurry up and tell me once you've gone. Oh, I'd already gone before we got here. Sort of. So yeah, there's a bit of cleanup required.
Yep. Like she was talking to the cat because the cat was just hanging around the school for some reason, as it does.
As it does when it doesn't need to. It could probably go anywhere.
Yeah, cause all sort of mischiefs. It's actually tried to kill him a few times as well. 'Cause she
Yeah.
was that in this episode or was that next episode?
What is it? It
I-
does.
It moves a can, an empty can is lying on the ground, and
I think that
trips
might be
over
the
it.
start of this episode.
Yeah.
Doesn't it's Hajime that trips on that rope, though, right?
No, I think it's her.
Is it her?
Yeah, because she's slagging the cat off, saying, "I hope you die," and all that nonsense. It's like, get out,
Yes.
my cat. Anyway, so they had to go to they ended up going to the old school toilet with Hajime, I believe.
Yeah.
And then they meet Christian girl who's already in the toilet, and they're like, "Are you insane?"
Yep. She's about for some reason.
Yeah. And once again, it's the same toilet that they went into in the first episode.
Yes.
And then there was a ghostly girl kicking about who's friendly in a sense, I think.
Yeah, she's not trying to harm them.
No.
Is she not trying to warn them about the? She said you don't want to do that.
I think so.
You
Something
don't.
along those lines.
You don't want to be in here. You probably don't want to be in here. They're like, oh, that's how ominous. Someone's, pretty sure we don't know about this yet, but obviously the teacher has already disappeared. So yeah, probably don't want to be here.
Yeah. And then Hajime and Leo. No, Hajime gets trapped in the toilet.
Yes, the demonic hand comes for him, and
Yeah.
then prompts him with the question, red or blue, and he says, "What is it? You like yellow or green or something?" And it's like, no, don't do that. That's worse than just selecting red or blue.
Yeah. And
So
then
he gets full on taken into the toilet, and then they're trying to pull him out.
no, they pulled him out the first time, but then
Oh, that's right.
Ghost
Sorry.
seals the door so no one can enter, and it's just him. And then
Yeah.
and then they had to get like the vase and put some water in it, and then he puts a tear, and the cat goes away. Type
Oh
thing.
yeah, yeah.
And they
Of
were
course,
able to
because
do-
he gets sucked into the ghost dimension or whatever place it is that he is.
yeah, he's getting sucked down. And then just in time saves the guy. It's also I think there's a scene in it where she's getting all flustered with him. Oh, look, he's pretty cool type thing. And then he's like, "Yeah, I need to go to the loo too," or something
Oh
like
yeah. It's like there's been something I've been meaning to say. I gotta poop.
that. Pretty much.
And she's like, what's wrong with you? You don't even like him.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, this like bizarre manufactured tension for no reason. It's very surreal.
Obviously, in the actual show, it's probably right there. He's probably not
Yeah.
such a jerk.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Uh,
So, yeah, they sort of they managed to do their spell, which I remember being super dopey, but can't remember the words for.
something like flush away, go away, or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It has like flush or poop or something in it. So yeah, and then the ghost is gone, and the Hajime manages to make his way back out, and then all of a sudden, the teacher who disappeared at the start of the episode manages to crawl back out from the toilets, and he's cool. He's just mightily confused, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be expecting it.
To be fair, you're right. I guess like I don't know that I would ever anticipate being grabbed down a toilet by a massive hand.
Yeah. I would like to also point down that these are not just your normal toilets, but
No,
squat
yeah.
toilet.
These are essentially squatty potties.
Squatty potties. That is a word
Yeah,
I never knew.
it is a hole in the ground with a toilet seat above it. Essentially. Well, that's what these are in the show anyway. I don't know what. A squatty potty is probably something different. I can't remember.
No, they don't have a toilet seat above it. It's just like a tray that you aim your piss into.
I get. No, you're right. It's not really a seat, it's more just a shape.
And you just squat down and piss into it.
Yeah, it's like this is the bit you're aiming for. This is the target area. Please please do what your business is here.
Yeah. I don't know. I used a hole in the ground before. That was in France.
I am well aware of French toilets.
Yeah, they're almost as bad as those ones. So that's pretty much the episode. That was that episode covered in 10 minutes.
It's how do you rate this one, Colin?
It's forgettable. Hence why
Yep.
we didn't discuss much about it.
Yep.
Um,
It's real bad. It's real bad. It's not even entertaining.
some bits in it that you'll laugh at.
I did, yeah, okay, so I did laugh at the occasional bit, but not enough to make it to make it worthwhile.
No, it's.
What's your rating? What's your thinking on this one then?
I think I'm going to have to go lower. I'm going to go as a 3 because
I will join you on a 3.
it is below par,
It is indeed.
and
So
even with the outrageous dubbing of the show, it does not save it. It's just not memorable.
yeah. Oh, I suppose we should have mentioned one of the things that sort of like is the sort of the outcome to red or blue, because red is like they get drained of their blood and blue means they die of asphyxiation.
Oh right, I didn't even remember that.
I read that on the synopsis and I'm not sure if that's in the dub or not. Okay.
Right.
Episode 3.
All right, hit me with that lovely title.
You ready?
Yep.
Raise the curtains! Raise the curtains! The Cursed School Arts Festival. Kutabe.
Oh yeah, so this is episode 3. I was thinking episode 3 was also episode 4 that we're discussing.
Episode 4 is my favorite one of them all. So
it is definitely they're meeting their point in the how to entertain people with the story of this one. Episode 3 though, it was fairly good. It was like goes on a weird tangent.
It does. This is the one. So essentially, the core conceit of this is that there's a set of steps that they believe might be magical, and the Leo is really interested in being the star of the Phantom of the High School, whatever it is. It's a really terrible play name. The Phantom of the High School Opera or something like that. But there's the other kid, which is Kutabe, I believe. He's the guy. He's the guy that's gonna not allow that.
Yeah.
So like they sort of audition for that, and Leo's like, "This is my role. I'm gonna do it. I'm brilliant." And then he basically immediately becomes the understudy without actually doing anything really.
Is it? Is that what happened? Because
I seem to remember like he sort of tried to audition and it wasn't very good, and then they just went, "Okay, so you're the understudy," and then he says something like, "So if he gets hurt, I can do this." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
I think. Well, I think what's his name? Because it starts off in the first bit of the show starts off, and they're on this guy in Hajmi's on the step saying that this is a cursed play in the sense that anyone that does it kind of like dies.
Yeah.
and he doesn't
Because
want to do it.
Yeah,
And-
because Kutabe apparently is good friends with Hajime. It would
Yeah.
seem
Yes. And
that
then
we've never heard about him in the first 2 episodes, and they've never they've never spoken a word of him. But yeah, apparently they're even closer friends than him and Leo.
seems to be that way, yeah. And the kid goes, I want the gym. I wish the gym hall would just burn down, and then suddenly gets struck by lightning and
It
burns
does.
down. So
Yep.
in wise decisions by like the school, they decide to hold it in the old gym hall in the old school, as they do.
Because that's why it's there. Like, it is literally like, it's not even like the answer to all questions, it's the cause of every problem in this show. It's like,
Yeah.
they keep, it's like, just use the old school. It's like, do you remember? Like, a teacher got dragged into the toilet in that place. Like, 5 students missed an entire day of school, but said they were gone for 20 minutes. Like, let's never use that building.
Yeah,
It's clearly an issue.
it clearly is. Anyway, so then it burns down, and he still has. Then they say that he's like, "Oh crap! The only way I get out of this is if I get hurt."
Well, he says that, and then the group of kids are at the steps making their wishes because they talk about the fact that Kutabe managed to make the gym burn down.
Yeah, but he does it twice at the same steps because he and Hazmi always talk on those steps apparently.
Yep,
And
that's
he
true.
Does it, he does it twice. He does it one with the school getting burnt, hit by lightning, and then he says something else, which is basically, "I think I can't get out of this unless I get hurt," type thing.
Well, I thought see, I remember it differently. I remember it being Leo that caused that, which is why they think his wish came true.
Well, maybe.
Because he's like, I wish I could be the star of the play.
Yeah. Well, at least I don't know. I sure he had 2 wishes, and then Hazmi was like, every time you wish for something on these steps, it comes true, type thing. And they're like, no way. And then they all gather at
Maybe
the
you're right.
steps.
I guess it just doesn't make any sense then for Leo to make that wish because he's the understudy. Of course, he's going to get that part.
No, I don't think. I don't think Leo was officially the understudy at that point. I think
Is he
they
not?
did a re-addition for the part and he stole Lily's.
Oh, okay.
I think. I could be wrong.
I just remember.
I don't remember this.
I remember because when Katabe gets hurt, and like, I'll be clear here, I don't know if he dies or not. Does he die?
No. He just gets hurt.
He does-
I think.
Okay, because I could be wrong again. I don't remember seeing him in the rest of the episode.
That doesn't mean anything. You didn't see him from the last 2 episodes, and he's the best friend of Hajime.
But I seem to remember. I can't remember what the wording was, but somebody said something, and I was like, "Did he die?" Like, because he gets crushed by like a basketball hoop or whatever it is that falls from the ceiling.
Oh. Yeah, no, I don't think he was badly hurt.
And then the teacher's like, "Oh my god, somebody go and check on him, and then find me the understudy." Like,
Yeah.
doesn't care. He's already moved on to finding a replacement the
Yeah,
second the problem happens.
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
The play must go on, man.
Oh, it's so rough, so rough, but so funny. But yeah, then they end up doing their wishes or whatever, and then this is just an awkward conversation in itself because I can't remember what Mimoko or whatever her name is, Christian girl's. Oh no, she wishes that all her friends became Christians, born again Christians. Leo wishes that he could be the star of the play. Satsuke wishes that she had loads of money and big boobs, and
Yes.
Hajime was like, I just basically want to like feel her breasts.
That's right. He does wish to feel her breasts.
He does. Like that whole conversation, and then then of course, like when they realize that like Leo's wish comes true or whatever, but no one else's, it's like, no, you're all still heathens, so I guess my wish didn't come true. And it's like, well, Hajime hasn't felt me up, and I'm still flat chested, so I guess this hasn't worked. It's like, what is happening in this show? Why is this a conversation we're having? It's
Because
it's so messed up. It's so messed up. But I will admit, it like that segment where they're discussing the fact that their wishes hadn't worked, like, did actually make me laugh quite a bit. So that's fair.
yeah, it got a bit insane then. And then Leo starts disbelieving about the curse of the play. And
Yep.
like, I'm gonna be great. There's no curse. What are you guys on about? Shut up. And they try to convince him for like a couple 5 minutes in the show when then he starts doing the play.
Yep.
And then he gets taken over by a ghost. Then
In the middle of the show.
yeah. Oh, and this is the bit where the cat is put in a cat carrier, and they're like,
Yes.
"We're not letting you out of here. You can't escape this." And it hands it to their little brother.
Which is just such a mistake because it was like, don't let him out of here, and then, of course, what's going to happen. So
Yeah, the
because
cat.
like 5 minutes later, the cat's like, I can't breathe in here. I'm like super hungry. Just open up the door because I can't breathe. It's like, well, okay, but you can't leave. He just like opens the door and bails out immediately, just in
Yeah.
time for them to come out and go, "What the fuck? You said you wouldn't let the cat out, and he's gone. Why?"
Yeah.
So stupid.
Also, they said it in a bit more harsher terms.
Yes, they did. They called him a retard, if I remember correctly.
That's right, yeah. And then he goes, blah, 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 blah.
That's a pretty good impression of that dubbing.
Because that's
I forgot that
almost-
the majority of his lines at certain points is just like blah, 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 blah.
yeah,
And it's not even like, I don't even know if it's directly trying to make something fun of something it shouldn't, or if it's just ridiculous, which I'd be willing to believe. But also, since they're kind of like haphazardly just offending everyone they possibly can, then yeah, I would also believe they were just trying to make fun of people.
yeah, it's pretty much just make people like it's like going, how what can we do to make this character interesting? Oh, I know, we'll make him
Make him slightly challenged.
slightly
Although
challenged.
he's not in the first episode at all.
No, he seems pretty
Just kind of-
normal in the first episode.
He seems fine, and then all of a sudden he has difficulty with everything, and there's no reason for that. There's just no, like it just doesn't add anything, except for the ability to make fun of someone else, I suppose.
Yeah.
Just another reason that this show can be slightly problematic in terms of the dubbing, anyway.
If you didn't listen to it, and I think the worst thing is, I think that came like the normal dubbing for it, and every other
Oh wow!
dubbing,
Wow!
possibly. I think they made use that as a template for the rest, taking it
Oh.
further afield. Anyway, I can never deny or confirm this because I haven't watched it in anything else except in English and Japanese, which I can't understand, with the English subtitles, which are direct copy
The
of the
bad ones.
English the stuff. So, so the cat runs away at that point, and they're going, great, because Leo's now kind of floating in the air without a harness, because apparently part of the play is like hoist the kid like halfway,
Yeah.
10 feet into the air.
Seems
And-
very safe.
And he's also made bleed from the fingers, but he's essentially just bleeding his own blood out the fingers now.
Yeah, that's right. He is. Oh man. And then they come in, it's like, so how's the play going? He's like, well, he's floating in the air, but we haven't pulled him up on the harness.
Yeah. And then he's bleeding from his fingers, and
Yep.
Hajime's got like his the prop for that in his
Yep.
hands.
He's like, oh yeah, that doesn't seem good. He's literally bleeding everywhere.
Yeah. And then he tried to go back to the stairs, I believe, only to find that someone's demolished them all because Leo paid them apparently.
Yeah.
It's like some kid wanted them gone.
Yeah, some kid wanted them gone. I don't know. And yeah, the guy's very dismissive about it. He's like, I don't know. Some kid wanted them gone. I gotta go. He says, like, I got a wife and kids at home or something, and then just drives away.
Yes.
It's just very, very odd. So like, oh well, there goes that. We can't. That's where the ghost was supposed to be, in that step, because it wasn't just the whole stairs; it was the fourth step.
Oh, was it the first step?
That's because when they were sitting on it, when Hajime and Kutabi were sitting on the step, they were sitting on the fourth step. But when everyone else was making their wishes, they were standing in front of it.
Yeah.
So they then go back to the theater, of course.
Oh, they pick up the idol that's there.
Yes, that's right. The broken idol, the one that's like its head got knocked off.
Yeah, yeah. And they also spoke to the cat, who said, "Oh yeah, you need this. That's how you save your friend," type thing. Also, we missed out the point where the cat was like, "Yes, this is going to be the best like school play ever."
That's right.
Like,
Everyone's going to be dead. There's going to be blood everywhere. Best school play ever.
yeah, good R-rated school play.
He does get very excited about that. He did also like, slag them off while they were trying to make their wishes and just kind of gave them a hard time about everything. Talked about how he was going to use his 9 lives to torture them for as long as possible and just be annoying to them.
Yeah, he did that. Anyway, so they go back to the thing and they got to put the idol on the stairs. It's set up on the play. And there's a blue flame in the back that no one else seems to mention on top of the stairs. And then they sneak in with robes on their heads.
They do. They look like extras from some such thing.
Final Fantasy 7.
And then they start to do their chanting business.
Yeah, do their chanting business while he's up there performing, well, being possessed and performing.
Up there, possessed, floating 10 feet above the ground, bleeding from his fingers. But on the plus side, of course, as they're successful, as they always are. But then, of course, there's nothing holding Leo up anymore. So he just comes crashing to the ground.
Yeah, they've got a safety mattress underneath them. That's fine.
Yeah, it's still pretty funny.
And then he takes all the credit.
He does, that's right.
And everyone stands up and claps.
Yep. Standing ovation. This is amazing. It's totally not by what it's supposed to happen, but yeah, I love it.
Yeah. That's pretty much the end of that episode.
Yeah, it is. I like this one more.
I believe that they have a conversation with the cat then. Oh, the kid goes, the younger brother goes and goes to the cat because he's up in like up in the rafters of the stage.
Yeah.
And the younger kid turns to him and goes, "Thanks, Kashmir, you're the best." And then Cat goes, "What did you say, kid?" And then he goes, and then the cat walks away and goes, "Yeah, I think your sister's right. You are retarded."
Like, what is going on? He
Oh,
does. He
no.
goes. "Ha-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba, ha-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba." It's just. It doesn't mean anything. Like it's nothing. It's such a nothing thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Terrible.
what a classic end.
Yes.
So, what? How do you score this one?
It's getting up there. It's getting there. I'm moving to a
Okay.
5. I'm going to 5 on
Okay.
this one.
Okay. I think I'm going to retroactively change my score from the first one to a 4. I think I agree with you.
Okay.
I think it is a 4, and I would also agree that I think this one is a 5.
All right.
This one is it's yep, I think we're on the same page with this one.
Yeah, it's just not
I
memorable.
think it was fairly good. It was much better than the second episode,
Yes.
for sure. So yeah, that not too bad. So then I guess that brings us on to our last episode for this evening,
Which 4?
which is Requiem for the Dead, Elise.
Wow, that's actually a decent title.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's relevant.
It's better than the
And
first
of course,
title.
it's better than all of the other titles. This
Hand
one,
from the
once again, of
toilet.
course, involves the old school building.
Yeah.
This is basically it's a direct rip off of The Ring, essentially. And the idea here is, I think, sort of somebody, is it another kid in their class dies, or at school?
No.
Somebody dies because
Wait.
the whole thing is, if you hear the music for release 4 times,
Hmm.
you'll die on the fourth time.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Wait. Is that the ring then?
well, The Ring is, if you watch a video, you die. So it's kind of the
7
same.
days.
7 days.
Okay. Wow. This is based on some movies.
Wait,
The
what?
Japanese, the series is apparently kind of like based off of some Japanese movies.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think they're called ghost stories. Anyway, shock. Uh,
So yeah, essentially, the whole premise for this entire episode is that it's a haunted piano man who is playing who's playing Beethoven's For Elise, and if you hear it 4 times, you'll die. And that happens, and then all of a sudden, I believe, of course, as they're always in that fucking old schoolhouse, uh, this episode centers mostly around Satsuki.
yes, pretty much around her because was it Hajime says something to her, and then essentially she gets pissed off with them. She does, and then chases them out the school, and then the music teacher catches them running, and
That's
I
right.
believe Hajime was like, "That music teacher's such a bitch," and continues running, and she tells him to stop and her to stop, and she stops and gets a lecture from her.
That's actually kind of funny, that whole bit where she's like, I really hate the music teacher. She's like mumbling stuff under her breath, and she's like, what did you say? Nothing. Nothing at all. And then those kids start shouting, and she's like, oh, those kids, you better go in there and do the thing. And I think that's when she accidentally hears For Elise for the first time, right? When she's taking the boxes into the old building.
Yeah, she's off to like the new music rooms teacher's office or something, which is in the old building.
Yep.
Why not?
Because most of the stuff is in the old building. Like, I mean, why bother having a new school? Never out the
Uh,
bloody old one.
I don't think there's big enough classrooms, Matt. That old school didn't look that big.
Oh.
So yeah, so she's like carrying this box, big heavy box, and quite muscular.
Yep.
Apparently, gets commented by the music teacher.
That's right.
It's
It's not weird at all.
No. Anyway, yeah, so she goes there and she starts hearing this music up in like some third floor of the building or something, and goes into the room where the piano is playing away on its own, and she's getting all scared that the piano's been played on its own
Yep.
in this spooky build. I mean, it's not like you've had pianos that can play tunes on their own, but then she touches the keys
And they don't play.
and they don't play, they just go thunk.
Yep.
And then she runs out of the building screaming, I believe.
Yep.
And then she hears about the curse.
That's right. Yep. And of course, then it is her mission to not hear it again, which they think will be easy because she just needs to stay out of the old school building, right?
Yeah, that's what they thought.
Or yep, exactly. That's what she thought. But then I think she gets a phone call.
Yeah, she's doing the duties in the kitchen.
Yep.
And the little kid, like, I don't want you to die, type thing.
That's
And,
right.
I'm not going to die. Don't be stupid. He says something else, and
This is
she
the
chases-
scene with the pajamas, isn't it?
Yeah, he's in his like cow pajamas.
Hang on.
Because his pajamas are gay. Because his pajamas are gay.
It just
Yeah.
doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. It is relentless.
Yeah. Oh, there's another episode where Leo gets accused of being gay. Is that the second
Yes,
episode?
I think you're right. It's coming. Yeah, the toilet episode.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you may be right. But yep, that was Yep.
Because his pajamas are gay.
That's why he's crying. Because his pajamas are gay.
Yeah. Ah. So anyway, he goes to bed, and then she's
Yep.
doing the house chores. The phone rings. She picks it up. Nothing happens. Puts it down.
Yep.
Picks it up a second time. And it's like, at least do the deep breathing type thing.
That's right.
And then she puts it down again. And then so the third ring happens,
Yeah.
and starts playing the music.
That's right. And
she's
then
like,
that's
"Oh."
twice she's heard it.
Yep. And then Leo gives her some earbuds in case she ever hears it again.
Yeah, the earbuds, and she like complains about the quality of them. It's like, where did you get these? These are cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, spoiler alert, she's right. They don't really work.
No. So that happens the next day, and then gets a phone call from Leo, or she thinks it's
That's right.
who phones up and says, "I got some information for you. We should meet out at that really creepily abandoned telephone booth."
That is properly amazing because that is immediately went with, right, I'll see you there. And it's like, no, wait, listen to what he said. Listen to what he said. Also, what ghost says that imitating Leo anyway? It's like, the really creepy place. Oh yeah, the creepy place. I love the creepy place. I'll see you there.
Yeah. See you there.
That's so silly.
Yeah.
So silly.
And at that point, it cuts to the telephone with no one in it, with the receiver up, and hangs
That's
up.
right.
So she goes there and then sees the creepy piano floating in the air, and then
The piano is mobile.
yeah, and it's not like a small It's like a proper grand piano.
Yeah, it's like it's a Steinway level
Yeah,
proper piano, and yeah, it's just kind of hanging about, chasing her now.
literally hanging
Yep,
about.
playing some
It's
music.
floating.
Yep.
And she puts the earbuds in and then says, "These don't work at all." Then runs away scared and gets cornered in the alleyway, as what always happens when you run away scared.
It is, yeah,
Uh,
naturally.
and then she ducks down and the piano floats above her through the wall, through a portal.
That's right. Ah, of course it does. Of
Yeah.
course it does. And
Yeah.
then she's heard it 3 times, of course, now.
Oh,
And she's not hugely pleased with Leo the next day. Uh, for what she thinks is dragging her out into the middle of nowhere.
yeah.
And also the
And
cheap earbuds. She's
earbuds.
not thrilled about that either.
Should also point out that every time she hears it, Ghost says, 2 more times.
Oh, that's
One
right.
more time. Writes it in blood on the wall
Dun.
above her.
And then it's Daft Punk one more time starts playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the and of course now the impetus is that I can't remember how they then end up going, like, actively going into the old schoolhouse.
I can't remember
The
the end.
the
All
group of them.
I can't remember the Christian girl getting possessed by her
The
mother.
mum. Is it Kyoko?
Kyoko, maybe? Yeah, maybe.
That happens.
Yeah, who then kind of saves her daughter.
Yeah, because she's like, no, it's not the piano. It's the picture on the wall next to the piano. That's the ghost.
Oh, they go into the old school in regards of they're going to destroy the piano because they all get armed with weapons.
That's right.
And then also it's protected by a big magic barrier too, so they can't harm it.
That's right, because they keep running to smash it, and Hajime is like going time after time after time and getting sent flying every single time.
Yeah, it just bounces off this invisible barrier.
Just like, learn your damn lesson. You did it twice. Like, how many times does it take you to realize this is a mistake?
You do it multiple times. Yeah, and then they state that the ghost is in the picture.
Yep.
Um,
And she traps it in the metronome. So there's like a metronome for because the song is like playing slower and slower and slower. And they trap the ghost in the metronome.
Yeah, which is outside the room in a box and had to break through the
Yes.
barrier again.
Yep.
I think they just beat down the door, didn't they?
Yeah, that seems right.
And
Not
they trapped the
hugely
door.
memorable.
No. Which is weird. Most of the episodes pretty memorable, but the ending is it's just like, that'll do.
The ending to every episode seems very much like an afterthought.
Like, how are we going to
Go
finish this one
home,
up?
you sillies.
Oops. Pushed a button. Didn't mean to push a button. But yeah, also, yeah,
Go home, you sillies.
that is ironically, yeah, that's the end of episode 1, and that is pretty much the end of every episode. The way it kind of wraps up is just like, oh, I guess just go home, I suppose.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's that, and the solved that yet another ghost. Should also mention that they're well, technically they're banishing all these ghosts so they can get the cat back to its normal self and get rid of what's his name. But technically, I mean that's what happens if you banish all the ghosts.
Amana Jaku.
Yeah, Amana Jaku. So they'll
Yeah, they
get
want rid of him so they can get their cat back, the special cat.
Yeah. Well, he's special with the ghost in the anyway. Um, 'cause I was like, it's like, oh, we banish all these ghosts and we can set you free from the cat without killing the cat. Apparently, that was something in episode 2. Oh, we should also mention
Okay.
that the book
So-
is used in pretty much every episode.
Yes, it's basically, like we said, it's the instruction manual for ghosts. Although the
Third one?
third one, episode 3, there was no.
Entry
One of
for that.
them was 3, right? Yeah,
I think it was
there was
3,
no
yeah.
entry. There was no entry for that one.
Yeah.
They took the lead from Amanajaku, I think, on how to get rid of that one.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you rate this?
What was the rate? Last one? 6? 5?
5.
I could maybe push it to a 6.
Okay.
I can see it being a 5, but I'm going 6.
I'm gonna go 5. I think it stays kind of even, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's getting better.
Yes. It's
It's
getting
definitely
better.
getting better. We should also mention that the obviously we've on the stream you'll have heard the intro music, but you haven't heard the outro music, which is called "Sexy Sexy" for some reason.
Yeah, the music for this show doesn't seem very appropriate for it.
To be fair, I always feel that about anime in general. Sometimes it's just like this seems like I'm not sure why you have chosen this as your theme tune.
Yeah, some of them, yeah. Well, Naruto and Bleach always had pretty good theme tunes.
Yeah,
Seemed
they were all
appropriate.
pretty good, but I mean, even like Death Note had "What's Up, People," and it's like I like that song, but that is not. This is not thematically correct.
Yeah.
It seems wrong.
Yeah, seems quite wrong. But no, the I was listening to the outro and I was like, what? Something like
It's really awkward.
sexy, sexy, and it's like, what?
Sexy, sexy, something, 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 something. I just keep going like that.
Yeah,
It's bad.
on about holding you. And the intro music is about telling them a story.
It is, which I guess is thematically and consistent at least.
Yeah, should look at the official music video for that.
Yeah, I'll maybe put that in the show notes. Let me just
Yeah.
take a note of that. Theme video. Oh, and also I said I would share Hajime, the song. So I'll do that too.
Oh God. Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's the first 4 episodes of Ghost Stories.
It's better than Golden Boy.
I don't know. Golden Boy entertained me a lot more. I think
I-
what out of the 4 episodes, right? Right. What's my average rating at the moment? Something like 4. I think it must be about 4.
Four and a half.
4.5. Where my average rating for Golden Boy out of the first 4 episodes would have been higher.
Maybe. Not by much.
No.
'Cause I think
That's-
episode 2 or episode 2 or 3 of Golden Boy drove that score down.
Actually, episode 4 drove it down for me. I think I put that to low.
Episode
low
2
score.
drove it down for me.
But it was memorable.
It was, but it was memorable because there were crimes being committed. A lot.
Yeah. Yes. It was.
It took us a long time to talk it through because it's like, and then he did this perverted thing, and then he did this perverted thing, and then he like felt up this woman and peeping tomed this woman, and that was essentially our conversations for 3 weeks, and I didn't like it. didn't enjoy that part.
Why? It wasn't me who suggested Golden Boy.
No, and I should say the reason I suggested Golden Boy was all because of that one. In fact, have I got it? Where is it? Oh no, what happened? Hang on.
Did you take away your swimming sound effect?
Well, I never had a swimming sound effect until this week. Have I? Oh, there we go. Hang on. There we go. Let's give this a try. Oh, no, it's coming through the wrong thing. There we go. Nope.
No, not coming. Not coming, man.
Oh no. No. Not working.
Oh, you broken. Anyway, yeah. So it's all because of the Golden Boy swimming meme, where he's
Yep.
essentially tries out to be a swimming instructor at a swimming
And
pool,
drowns.
and he has to prove how good a swimmer he is, and they find out that he can't swim.
Yep.
And he's
And
like,
at the end
"Ugh."
of nearly drowning, says, "How do you like my swimming?"
Yeah, in a
And
serious.
it's just hilarious. So why are we doing ghost stories? I mean, I know why we're doing it. Like, having watched the first episodes, I know why. But is this was your choice? This was your suggestion this time.
It was. We were going to do Chargeman Ken, but then you decided that would take too long because it's like 100 odd episodes.
There are
A
so
fi-
many episodes.
5 minutes though.
I know we
It'd be
can
like
come back to that. I feel
you-
like there's maybe worse stuff we could do first.
there's two. You do the episode in like 2 sentences. He had to like kill his sister, or his sister tries to kill him with a knife. There's no animation.
What's the one where is it Charge Man Ken where the guy's the bomb?
Yeah,
He
some
doesn't know he's a
doctor
bomb.
Yeah, so, I think some doctor gets kidnapped by the aliens that he's fighting, and only he knows about these aliens or something like that. And they implant a bomb in his head, but the only reason they know that is apparently of his supersonic hearing, and he can hear the ticking of the clock in his brain. He's got a bomb in his head, and he kidnaps him, flies him in his
Yeah.
rocket, and then ejects him, and he explodes. I mean, this is all in 5 minutes. The whole episode
Charge
is
Man
like
Ken is savage.
it can't be.
Savage.
Yeah, well, I think this is going to get better in the sense that I think they're going to up the ante in what they're going
dubbing.
to. Yeah, because like you said, there's not much in the story, so to try and keep like the moral of the story of the episodes isn't that hard without actually only filling in certain sections of like,
Nah, it's
yes,
super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
yeah, can't use that
I'm not
catchphrase.
allowed to use that? Ah, damn.
Maybe, well, you might be.
I don't want to get sued, so yeah, fair enough.
I don't think he'll sue you. I don't think he's like that.
I unironically maybe said that not on purpose, but have been watching a lot of those recently, so it may have just come out.
Well, he does say in every episode of the.
He does, except in the Tenet one where he says, barely an inconvenience, super easy.
Oh, it's changing up. Because I
Yep.
believe you got flagged for not saying it in some episodes. It's like where's the barely inconvenience?
I think he says it twice in another one, to which the response says, "Oh, saying that phrase is twice as tight."
Yes. I'm
I
actually
do
watched
enjoy
some
that
of
show.
this. I haven't watched some of this stuff for a while.
My favorite
Oh.
one is the Wonder Woman 1984 one. That is just a fantastic deconstruction of how terrible that film is in 9 minutes. It's so good, so good. Anyway, before we get down a rabbit hole, I suppose we will be back, hopefully without an issue this time on Thursday. I don't think we should have any problems this time. We seem to have found a way that this works.
A solution to our problems.
We have, as I said, we have removed the weakest link. It was Discord.
Only for you.
Yeah, but surely, if it was a problem with my audio settings overall on my entire system, it would be a problem every single thing we used.
Yeah, I know. Don't know why. Says what we come up with is getting 2 tin cans and a bit of string. And
keeping that taut across, the 10 miles has not been easy, but
yeah,
we've managed.
there's a lot of trees in the way.
There are. A lot of data was lost along. I suppose that's early packet loss, is when there's slack in the line.
Yeah, you got to tie it around the branches.
Right. Okay, so we will be back on Thursday, hopefully, normal time, about 9:30. I will be getting this up onto the podcast feed as soon as I can. And we'll be back with episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 of Ghost Stories.
Ooh. Yep. Yeah, catch us live Couch Fuel 9:30 on Thursday.
Yep. And will you be playing on Monday? Anything to plug there?
Yeah, I might play this Monday. I didn't play last Monday. Think around it. I just watched One Punch Man.
Fair enough.
Oh, anyway.
But you can get that. That's twitch.tv/couchfuel.
Yep.
If you're watching this already, you probably know that channel because you're on it. If you aren't, that's where to watch. Subscription would be nice if you feel like it. We will be, as I say, uploading this to the podcast feed. We're on Spotify, Pocket Casts, still trying to get on Apple, but we will see. But we're trying.
Yeah, we're getting out there at some point, doing stuff. Might actually upload these videos to the Tubes Couch School channel on the YouTube.
Yep,
eventually.
that'd be
One
good.
day. One day, I might do that.
One day. Right. Well,
Make them fancy.
in which case, thank you for listening to and watching Who's That Anime? We'll be back on Thursday at 9:30 for more ghost stories.
Yeah. Who's that anime? That's what you're watching.
It's Pikachu.
Pikachu!
It's the furry. Fuck! I wanted to do a bunch of promotional material for this show that said, "Who's that anime?" And then it's like, it would be me or you shouting, "Oh, it's a good anime," and it would go, "It's Ghost Stories." Fuck. I might do that still. I thought that would be quite funny. So
yeah, that'd work.
kind of giving it away now, but I still think it could work. I'll give it a try.
Yeah, I think it would work, man. It's good. We'll go with it. But yes,
Right.
I'll stop on that now.
See you
Catch you
next
next
week.
time. Oh wait, hang on. That was wrong.
No? Wait.
I was
was
kind of like that.
No, don't do that.
No, it's not that. No, that's a music video for the intro.
Yep. Hint, hint. Watch the music video.
Yeah, I know what's that. See you next time, guys.
Right. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Hey there, what are you kids doing here? School's over. Go home, you sillies.
No, thanks.
Oh, nice cat.
Cat, go! Huh?
Yeah, such a pretty cat.